This week on Storyboard, we have Asmita Dubey, who's the Global Chief Digital and Marketing Officer of L'Oreal, speaking about the key shifts in consumer trends, how L'Oreal is creating online and offline experiences and future-proofing its brands. We're catching up with Gaurav Khatri, CEO and co-founder Noise, India's leading wearable tech brand, on them roping in a new noise maker, key focus areas for the brands in the coming months and much more. And we have Helen McRae, CEO Mindshare Asia Pacific, along with Amin Lakhani, CEO Mindshare South Asia, on the India market and the growth plans for the agency in the coming months. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shabani Gharat. The past few years have been a seesaw for the beauty industry, with the pandemic and the lockdowns bringing the sales down and the recovery bringing in cheer for companies. Asmita Dubey is the Global Chief Digital and Marketing Officer of the world's largest beauty company, L'Oreal. In an exclusive interview with Storyboard 18's Dilshad Irani, she shares the key shifts in consumer trends, how L'Oreal is creating online and offline experiences and future-proofing its brands. Let's hear this chat.
Hello and welcome to Storyboard 18, Asmita. It's lovely to have you on the show.
Hello, Dilshad. Very, very happy and excited to be here.
And we have lots to talk about. It's been an interesting few years for the beauty industry across the world. How are you seeing the Indian beauty industry?
The Indian beauty industry is first, the potential is so huge. You know, there are so many women and men here that the penetration in categories are growing everywhere. We have beautiful brands, L'Oreal Paris, Maybelline, Garnier, Lancome, Kiehl's, Kerastase, even on the hair care and hair color side. So we feel that very, very optimistic about the Indian beauty market overall. And we have performed very well this year. We have again outperformed the market.
What are you focused on, and what are some of the key trends for 2023?
I think we think a lot that today, the way the world is, we have to move at the speed of culture. You know, and when we say that we have to move at the speed of culture, because so much is changing around us. You spoke about the pandemic. So post-pandemic, there is a social and relationship reset. A lot of people are thinking that we need to move from casual to close relationship, quantity to quality in terms of relationship, and that impacts the way they are interacting. That impacts the ecosystem in which we are playing. So I'm coming a bit to the digital side of it. There are almost 5 billion people that are online. Yeah, and India has more than 800 million people who are online. So the social ecosystems are changing now because of the social reset that has happened. Then there is the Gen Z. And Gen Z, and from their point of view, what matters most to them. So what matters to them is authenticity, proximity. They are hanging out more in the metaverse on the other side. Gaming is growing a lot. There is the social concern in terms of sustainability, radical inclusivity. So all these are consumer trends. And at the same time, there is a need for a personalized, relevant, individual, unique beauty in each one of us. And what we do today in beauty tech and with the data and AI allows us to offer that to our consumers.
It's something very interesting you mentioned, the radical inclusivity. Can you elaborate a bit on that? And how is L'Oreal and its brands responding to trends such as that?
We believe that the future of beauty is diverse and inclusive. It is sustainable and safe. It is committed and generous. And therefore, we believe that the future of beauty, it will be fueled by innovation. It will be nurtured by green science. It will be powered by tech. And what we are doing is shaping that future with science, technology, and creativity. So all of that is helping us to bring that personalized, unique beauty for everybody. And I can pivot here to the point of pioneering beauty tech. Because when the way we are pioneering beauty tech is that we are moving from product to services. We are offering a lot of services to our consumers today. Services like virtual try-ons which are based on augmented reality, services like fragrance finders, services that are both offline and online.
Very exciting, and India, given the digital boom that we are seeing, what is your reading of the India market in that sense, in terms of live commerce, social commerce? What is L'Oreal doing on that front? Are you excited about the prospects here?
There can be different business models on social commerce. The first one can be on the platform itself. So if you look at a market like China, or Indonesia, the TikTok and the commerce there tends to be very, very interesting, and that is a platform commerce. Or there's affiliate commerce with our partners, where it need not be an external platform, but we could be bringing them together. So the expert salon care in India for our professional products division, it happened during the pandemic actually. Because during the pandemic, the salons were closed. We had the whole ecosystem of hairstylists, salons, consumers who wanted to connect with each other, who wanted products. And at that point, L'Oreal was the facilitator. What we did was we said, we will provide you a platform in which you can come together, share the products, have the conversation, find something, get it. And that is a business model that is really growing for us. And I think India, what it is doing very well is also because WhatsApp is just for everybody in India.
Absolutely.
So what you call conversational commerce is really growing, and we are working with a lot of our partners to look at what conversational commerce means. How do we empower our BAs to have the conversations, create the relationship, and then be able to sell a product or give an information or offer a service there. And the last point there is that things like live streaming or live shopping are just tools to be able to do that well. And we have learned a lot during the pandemic. Today, if you look at L'Oreal worldwide, we do, I don't know if you can guess, we do more than 10,000 live streams in a year.
Wow.
With some
across
the world, across platforms, but it is live streams that are done with us.
We're seeing a lot of tech turmoil. I mean, it's the layoffs, for instance, and then everything that's happened in the aftermath, for instance, with the Twitter takeover and Elon Musk coming in. And there's immense turmoil there. And of course, you saw a lot of large advertisers quitting the platform. And on the other hand, then you have metaverse, and that has hit a few snags too. But L'Oreal seems very sort of bullish on these new technologies. Tell me, first of all, what was your stand on Twitter? And then let's get into the metaverse. Where do you see it going? Was it just the shiny new toy, or is there a long-term strategy in place?
I think we have to start with the fact that it is a very charged digital space. And it is a very charged digital space. One can speak about positive and negative charges, but it is a charged digital space. More than 15% of the economy today is based on digital economy. And it is growing 2.5 times for the last decade, versus the general GDP growth. It is happening for 3 different reasons. First, digital adoption. I mentioned before, there are 5 billion people that are online today. And over the coming years, it will become 7.5 billion, which means 90% of the world will be online. So that direction of change and that positive charge will continue. The second thing is digital infrastructure. Digital infrastructure is the backbone of digital economy, and digital infrastructure continues to grow. 5G connectivity is becoming a reality, especially in India. I think 5G has one of the lowest 5G costs are going to be there in India. So there will be more immersive technologies that will become very mainstream, and consumer will start experiencing it because of that.
Accessibility, yeah.
Absolutely. And then the third reason, and the reason I say that it is a charged digital space, is because there is innovation. And in that innovation, we can talk about the metaverse, but startups are fostering innovation, and they continue to question the way we do business otherwise, whether it is the future of work or health and wellness or energy transition. All that is digitalizing. So that direction of change is just inevitable. It is going to happen. Yes, there are new digital realities, and those new digital realities are from, on one hand, we are moving from Web 1.0 to Web 2.0 to Web 3. Yeah, and it is a reality which is taking shape today. And in that sense, what we are saying is that we have our feet firmly grounded in the Web 2 deployment. Because if we look at the Web 2, what you people were calling the Web 2.0, it is about digital transformation, it is about image recognition, video, live streaming, SaaS, cloud, data, automation, all that is very much here.
Thank you so much for your time, Asmita. It was lovely chatting with you.
Thank you so much, Delshad. Likewise, it was very nice to talk to you.
Welcome back. Homegrown wearable brand Noise is all set to put India on the global map for the connected lifestyle devices in the coming months, shared Gaurav Khatri, CEO and co-founder Noise. I spoke to him this week and he shared brand's journey so far and how Noise became one of the fastest growing wearable brands in India. Along with this, he spoke about them roping in a new noise maker as their brand ambassador for their smart watches, Virat Kohli. Let's hear this chat. Gaurav, welcome to CNBC TV18.
Thank you so much, Shivani. Thanks a lot.
So you are now roping in a new noisemaker, Virat Kohli. Tell us more about it and what will he bring to the table?
Noise, I'm sure you're aware about that we are primarily into the wearable category. We are the leaders there from nine quarter almost now. And the category also is more of a lifestyle and fitness, right? And there's no celebrity better than him who is, a combination of a lifestyle along with the fitness regime that we have always seen. You need someone's credibility at some point of time where you think about going global also. So I think that is also one of the aim that we are trying to see if that can also be resolved with him. And we are very confident it will get resolved. Along with that, the kind of audience that we target to, they are very, very relatable with Virat. Along with that, when you tie up with a sports person, right, and that to a stature like Virat, you would see there is no issue when you use him as a celebrity or use him in a promotion that everybody knows him. You don't need to introduce him to anybody, right? So that is you can use him across the country is also one of the motive that we thought.
Okay. Also, if you can throw in some light or share in details on how Noise became one of the fastest growing wearable brands in the country.
I still remember the time when people used to not believe in the wearable technology, and I think me and Amit, when we used to go and pitch it to our clients, it was a very difficult pitch initially. But with time, the kind of product that we made and the kind of technology we could bring in, the kind of R&D and tech that we made in-house, honestly helped us to, be agile and very, very nimble to bring the latest innovation in no time. I think that has been one of the reasons that we could do it.
Okay. And also, if you can throw in some light on the kind of marketing strategy that you have adopted so far and how has it really worked to make or create noise for the brand?
We have been very, very conscious in terms of spending monies when doing the marketing. We have always done marketing, which has been always ROI driven. So most of the spends that we have done are on the performance-based marketing. We have kept digital as a medium, which has been prime focus for us. And I think we have used the best mediums that are possible in digital, both Google and Meta. We have also taken a lot of help from the e-commerce partners that we are working with. In a recent time, we have seen a success in offline market as well. And I think last month, we did our first OH campaign, which was by the name of Shorabi Bhakiya, which was featuring Rishabh Pant, and the entire campaign led for 6 or 7 odd metro cities that we participated in. And I think the kind of results we got in the Diwali sale was phenomenal.
One can attribute Noise's success towards, probably your diverse range and also affordable products that you guys make. Any plans of getting into the premium segment?
We are very much focused on the premiumization. Like I was telling before also, currently we believe that we are the only domestic brand that is having R&D and tech in-house. Right now, Noise app, which is there, which basically take care of your health and the connection part of the watch, is the highest rated app in the health and fitness on both the categories, whether it is Android or whether it is iOS. We have been most of the time #1 ranked app there as well. And I think, these app, along with the tech and innovation that we have built in-house, the R&D team that we have built in-house is helping us to premiumize on a lot of area, also allowing us to create the product which would be much more futuristic, much more advanced that we would see in coming time.
Gaurav, also share with us what is going to be your strategy in the coming months to bolster your position in the India market and probably have a deeper connect with the Indian audience.
We have always been speaking to our consumer in all possible way, whether it is, having the virtual meetings with them directly, whether it's through polls, whether it is reaching to any platform that is possible, whether doing Q&As with them and understanding what kind of product that we want and they want. We have been very, very successful in co-creating products with them. And I think that has been one of the reasons that whatever sales and the brand building exercise that has been successfully done was because of that. Along with that, again, the kind of product that we were building with consumers has always been, market leaders and first of its kind. That has helped because the kind of feedbacks that we have got from the consumers. And I think these will still be very, very close to us, and we will be always dependent on this strategy to keep our core position, not only in India. We would love to be called out a global brand soon.
Yeah, and if you can share your outlook for the wearables market in the country.
Currently, till last year, we were around 2.5% of a market was penetrated against the smartphone purchase that was happening in the country. This year is expected to be around 6-7%. And we are expecting overall growth to be, if not double, but we are expecting it to be 1.5x of what it was last year, or what we're going to finish this year, this calendar year. So I think there will be a huge growth that is yet to be pending. Just to give you a number, the global, maybe US or China or Australia have a higher penetration north of 20-25% versus the smartphones. India is currently sitting at 2 to 5%, right? So there's a journey that India will take, the kind of audience that is sitting. We are the most young country across these names that I have taken, right? The kind of the pace that India is seeing at this point of time, I think not only the category, but overall ecosystem of tech and innovation will be very, very highly rewarded for India. So I think there's a very, very good future about the category that we are in. I think and it will lead its path. We may penetrate better than the other countries that I took the name for.
And finally, before we go, what is the larger vision for the brand and expansion plans? If you can share those with us for the coming months.
See, we have been growing more than 100% year on year. Fortunately, from last 3-4 years, we would be very happy if we can keep the same pace. Fortunately, the tailwinds that we are seeing in the category will help us to penetrate further. Along with that, so far till last year, we used to be only online present brand. We have not done too much of work on offline, and we are seeing a good traction now. Now it is present across 8,800 odd retail stores across the country. We are expecting this number to be 20,000. So that's the expansion plan that we are seeing. Of course, there's a noise lab that has an incubator arm that we have come up with, where we are launching the more futuristic, more advanced product that country has not seen. So you'll see some expansion there as well. In terms of the portfolio, the category that we are in, of course, we are solving that. We are coming up with more advanced features that, again, the country has not seen. I'm not allowed to speak a lot on them, but something very, very innovative and creative is on the way. Of course, there will be demographic expansion also. Again, we are working towards it. Maybe you'll see us globally also soon.
All the best for these plans. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Brian. Lovely talking to you.
Welcome back. This week, we caught up with Helen McRae, CEO, Mindshare Asia Pacific, along with Amin Lakhani, CEO, Mindshare South Asia. They spoke about many things, including the growth plans for the India market and how true are the recession fears as far as India and APAC are concerned. Let's hear this chat. Helen, Amin, welcome to CNBC-TV18. Helen, welcome to India.
Thank you very much. Very excited to be here.
So it's been 1 year since you joined as the APAC Chief Executive Officer for Mindshare.
Yep.
Can you share with us what has been the past 1 year been like, and What was your immediate mandate after taking on the new role, and how much of it has been achieved in the past 1 year, which has had its own fair share of ups and downs? Helen, over to you.
And I think the year has been unusual, but I don't think that's saying anything for anybody. It's been unexpected in terms of everything from the war in the Ukraine and its economic impacts to COVID, et cetera, et cetera. So I still think that Asia is still very much a dynamic region, and probably one of the most dynamic regions in the world. And COVID and the economic pressures have only actually enhanced that kind of dynamism, but also optimism in terms of growth, in terms of opportunity and expectations. And I think the expectations for us as Mindshare, part of Group M, is that as a market lead in the industry and in the region, we want to actually rewrite the rule book, because the rules have changed a lot. They've changed from an economic outlook, they've changed from how our clients and businesses go to market, and consequently we also have to adapt and change with those. And that's what we've been spending the last year on, in terms of adapting ourselves and also continuing to grow our own business.
And how are you rewriting the rule book? You just mentioned you are rewriting the rule book. So if you can share that with us.
Well, I think that, historically, I think particularly for us as a media agency, our job has been in many ways about supplying a service and supplying be almost like a commodity supplier. And I think actually looking forward, what we want to do to rewrite the rule book really is to make our role more about driving growth. Asia is all about growth. It's where all of our clients are going to expect growth from. And consequently, they're looking for partners and strategic advisors who are going to help them drive that growth, and not just focus on cost and the basic quality parameters.
Yeah, so Asia market is all about growth. Over to you, Amin. How has India market fared during these turbulent times?
If you look at the size of new businesses that Mindshare has won right in the last 4 quarters, it is over 1,600 crores. So I think that's the kind of growth that we are adding to our businesses on a year-on-year basis. And if you look at Mindshare network, then the number just about becomes closer to 2,000 crores. So I think that's the kind of new business that we're adding. We're also growing very well ahead of the industry in terms of the overall organic growth, thanks to the splurge or the turbocharging of digital post-COVID. What we've seen is that there was the acceleration, the digital adoption acceleration journey, got really expedited, and that is what is propelling, spends or increased amount of spends on the digital side of things.
Yeah, so there is no doubt, Helen, that India is one of your strategic markets. It's also a great talent hub. What are the expansion plans for the country, and how does India fare vis-a-vis the other markets in the APAC?
The economic challenges in China and India has done exceptionally well. And I think as well about India is that the depth of the talent, as you mentioned, is tremendous. And the people, I've been here for the last couple of days, and again, I'm constantly impressed with the depth of talent. And one of the things that Amin and I are talking about is how can we use that talent for bigger projects across the region? How can we create a centers of excellence coming out of India in fields around data and analytics, in terms of performance, in terms of content, and how can we tap into that talent as a network and give our people bigger and more interesting opportunities that sit outside the market potentially to experience that, as well as to benefit the rest of the region and indeed, the rest of our global network.
Yeah, and Helen, how true or real are the recession and slowdown fears as far as the APAC market is concerned?
Asia Pacific as a region is quite different, and the forecasts are quite different than to say Western Europe or indeed the US. So while people are cautious here, I think they are not nearly as cautious as say in other regions, because we're still experiencing fairly reasonable growth.
And do you feel the heat, in the country? What are the clients saying?
So the first half of 2022, Shivani, for us was significant. They were the best ever that I have seen being in Mindshare. Yes, but we did observe a significant amount of cautious approach in the last 3-4 months of the year. And what I see is that yes, there is pressure, and we all know that there's inflationary pressures which are plaguing clients and which are creating headwinds. But I'm seeing progress right now. I think I'm seeing clients moving out of that scenario. I'm seeing CPG already now investing behind new launches. They're not looking back onto the promos. They're going ahead and doing their sustainable campaigns. So CPG is turning around. We've seen the structural comeback of fashion and retail significantly so. And so there are pockets which are going to be doing well. And there are pockets which, in my view, will continue to face some headwinds, at least for the next quarter or so.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.